Hi, for today's art project we're going to be doing a drawing of some laboratory equipment, and we're going to be learning about three-dimensional shapes. We're also going to be looking at primary colors. There are three primary colors: yellow, blue, and red. And with these three colors, these are my watercolors. You can use solid watercolors. These are liquid watercolors. But with these three primary colors, we're going to be creating mixtures and seeing what happens when you put yellow with blue, yellow with red, and red with blue. Alright, but before we get to the colors, we're going to do the drawing. So we're going to want a piece of white paper and a Sharpie. It's important that you use a Sharpie because we'll be using water and Sharpies don't run when they get wet. You're also going to need a paintbrush, red, blue, and yellow paint, and a glass of water to rinse your brush. So I'm going to put the paintbrush to the side and I'm first going to work on my drawing. The first thing I'm going to make is a flask, which is a glass used in a laboratory. And it's the one I'm going to draw first is a cylinder. So to draw a cylinder, I'm going to draw two lines like that. Those are the sides of the cylinder. Try and have them be the same length. And then I'm going to draw a curved line in the front at the bottom. And I'm going to do that again at the top, curved line. There we go. Now I'm going to do another curved line going up. This curve went down like a smile. Frowns curve like a rainbow down like this. So now I'm going to curve up like this. And that's the top of my cylinder. Now my cylinder is a transparent glass, so I can see the back of it too, so at the bottom. So I'm going to do another curve that goes up in there. Now in a laboratory, we take measurements with our flasks. So I'm going to draw these lines here, and I'm going to write some numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to pretend that this is filled with water, and I'm going to make it filled up to the number 4 line. All right, on this side, I'm going to put another flask. For this flask, I'm going to have a skinny neck. It's going to be a bit taller. So 2 straight lines are going to be the skinny neck, and I'm going to put a curve going down like that at the top, and then a curve like that going on above it. Now from here, I'm going to make a couple of diagonal lines. I'm going to draw this one to here. And I'm going to draw this one to here. Now for me, it was easier to turn the paper upside down to do that, and that's okay. Now for the bottom, I'm going to put a curved line out like this. This is also made of glass, so it's transparent and I can see the other side of the bottom. So I'm going to put a curve like that. And this one, I'm going to just put the measuring lines up at the top on the neck. And I'm not going to put numbers on those. All right, I have room over here for one more flask. Oh, and I'm going to have this liquid be about to here. Now over here is going to be my last flask. I'm going to put 2 more lines. Also close together like this one. Curve going down, curve going up. This one I'm going to make it round on the bottom. And it's going to have that curve going out at the bottom. And since it's see-through, I can see the other side of the bottom. And now I put the lines on the neck of this one too. And this one, I think I'm going to have it filled up to about here. All right, now we're going to have some fun painting these. Now, an important thing to do when we're painting is I'm going to paint wet paper. So I'm going to, let me get my water closer so you can see it. I'm going to dip my brush in water, dab off the extra water, and I'm going to wet this first flask. Everything below that line I drew. I'm going to rub that water around so that I'm putting wet on wet. That's going to help blend my watercolors. Alright, now that I have that wet, in this one I'm going to be doing yellow, and I'm going to put lots of yellow dots. So it's time for me to add some blue dots. Lots of blue dots. Here we go. I think I want to go back and put a few more yellows in there. Now, let me give it a good rinse, get all that blue off that brush. And we're going to wet this one over here. Everything underlying gets nice and wet. And I'm going to put blue dots on this one. Okay, here comes the red. When we put blue and red together, what color do you think it's going to make? Let's see. Here's my last flask, and I'm going to get that wet. Don't forget to get it wet, that's important, because it works a lot better on wet paper than it does on dry. And this one is going to be a mixture of red and, what do you think? Red and, you got it, red and yellow. Let's start with the red. Here comes the yellow. What do you think yellow and blue, yellow and red are going to make when they mix? I think I want to go back here and put more yellow. Looks like we're getting green. I'm expecting purple here. I see a little bit of purple. And I'm expecting orange, and I do see some orange. So we're going to let this dry. And that's our art project for this week. Making three-dimensional shapes, cylinders, and mixing colors. The three primary colors. Let's remember what the three primary colors are. Do you remember? Blue, yellow, and red. With these three beautiful primary colors, you can make all the colors in the world. All right, guys, have fun with this week's art project, Mixtures of Color.